We don't have a timer at all going either. You want to press start, and then you don't even need to record. We'll just clip that part out. Yep. Cool.
Hey, my name is Sky,
I'm Ray.
and we wanted to do this video just to prepare anyone out there as a single mom who is thinking about moving out of state. I moved out of Iowa just a couple of months ago, 3 months ago to be exact. Ray?
And shortly after that, I moved out of Illinois.
Yeah. So there's a lot, obviously, that has transpired since then. A lot to prepare, even a lot that happened even before coming out here for both me and Raven. So we just kind of want to give more insight on exactly what to expect moving out of state and with kids. I don't think this is something that you can prepare for.
Not at all.
But we just want to be here for you just so you can have an idea of what to expect. So, yeah.
So, when I originally was looking at moving here, I was looking for places to rent that were around $1,000. I ended up finding a 3-bedroom apartment for $2,000. The expectations were that I was to make 3 times the rent, so that's $6,000.
Crazy.
And I couldn't find anywhere that would accept me for making less than 3 times the rent.
Yeah. So yeah, well, same, by the way, 3 times the rent, that's anywhere. We're in Texas, so definitely anywhere here in Texas is what they're expecting you to be making. So we wanted to make sure you guys knew how important credit was.
Credit's huge. I was anticipating that I was just going to pay up front. And then when I ended up starting to actually go through the process of that, no one wanted my money.
It didn't matter that
Nope.
you had more to put down. Or
It didn't matter how much money I had. It didn't matter that I was selling my home. Everyone wanted to look at your credit. So it's a big deal that you guys are paying your bills. Pay them, and if you can't afford, call. Don't avoid. Call and pay the minimum balance because credit is huge.
Yeah. I really didn't prepare for a long time before I moved. I'm not gonna lie, like my move was kind of spontaneous. I did know that I wanted to move like months prior, so I really didn't start getting serious about my credit till like 6 months before I moved. But I was still able to have a decent credit score to where, I could still get approved and, get loans. I don't know, you may have been a little more prepared maybe than I was, but I had to come up with, I had to do the fake pay stubs. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I had to finesse to get into my apartment. But credit is a big factor that you want to consider before going anywhere.
So I actually ended up working with a realtor, and after 20 houses, she's like, okay, right, we are gonna have to fake your pay stubs. And I'm like, I don't want to. So I'm like, okay, let's just do it. I was going back to Illinois, and I was running out of options, so we attempted to fake my pay stubs. Attempted. I got caught. The apartment complex approved me, and they're like, okay, well, we just want to see pictures of your mobile banking, and it's all yours. And once I was able to provide that, they refunded me the application fee, and I was really sad. And I ended up having to go with an apartment. The apartment that I went with was only offering an 8-month lease, and they wanted me to pay the full 8 months up front. And then due to my credit, I had to pay a security deposit of 2 months rent.
Dang.
I was sad.
Dang.
I was very sad. And then during my move, the day of, I sold my house, and that day I was picking up my U-Haul. My U-Haul was supposed to be 26 feet. I ended up being sent to 3 different U-Hauls around the Quad City area, and the only U-Haul they could provide me with was 15 feet.
At the last minute?
The last minute. The day that I was supposed to be leaving. The day that I signed my house away.
Crazy.
So half of my life ended up being put on the side of the road, and I could only bring what I could fit in my car and a 15-foot U-Haul.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah, so maybe don't go through U-Haul.
Yeah.
Just explore your options.
Mm-hmm.
There are moving companies that I'm sure probably end up costing roughly the same amount as renting a U-Haul.
And really consider, I think, what do you really want to take with you? I know selling some things that you currently have could be, you know, more money for you to have to move with. So that's something to think about too. Like, if you need the money, maybe you can sell some stuff. You know, if not, then do a little more research on how you're getting that stuff there. Yeah. What else?
The electricity. Let's talk about the electricity here.
Ridiculous. And I don't know, I don't know, maybe just, I don't know, because it's our first time here, so.
So, we moved here in the hottest months of the year. Last month, my electricity bill was over $500. And I was not ready for that.
It's crazy. It's another rent.
That's another rent.
Like, I'm used to that being rent. I don't know what rent y'all used to, but yes, yeah.
So that made my monthly expenses just for rent and electricity alone $2,500. And I'm not even downtown Dallas. I'm not in a
Lavish
apartment at all. To say the least. So yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely take that into consideration.
Yeah. And then let's talk about having the kids. During just that, we're just gonna preparing to leave, having the kids, and then getting here, you in a U-Haul, me flying, like, I think, yeah, you go.
So, my kids and I, we packed up all of our stuff into that U-Haul, and then there was it's 3 rows, or not 3 rows, it's a 3-seater. So, we ended up, after moving everything into that U-Haul, we actually didn't even leave town. We got a hotel, and we got up the next morning and we left, and then we drove, I don't know how many hours, but it was a lot. And then we got another hotel. So in total, we got 3 hotels because that's how long it took us. The day of, the following day, and the day after that. We ended up spending about $600 on DoorDash that whole first week, including the move. The hotels, you have to be super picky with hotels because not every hotel is going to let you park the U-Haul there at all.
Yeah.
And it's kind of scary going to new areas with your kids, having to be on the outskirts of town because those are the only places that are going to allow you to park your U-Haul. It was crazy. When we actually got here, obviously I didn't come straight to the apartment. We got a hotel when we got to Dallas because I had to wait an extra day for 2 men in a truck to unpack for us. So that was a lot too. And we probably didn't get unpacked and settled for maybe a whole month. It took us a month to fully get unpacked.
Like
Moved in.
Settled.
Yep.
Yeah. Me and my son flew. I had a car. That's another thing to think about. Like, if you have a car, like, how's your car? Are you gonna drive? You know, how's that gonna happen? That's something I did not think about to the last minute. So I had my dad Luckily for me, I did have a lot of support with the transition. My dad was like not letting me drive. He's like, I'm not about to let you do that. He drove most of my belongings, whatever could fit in my truck, and I had a pet bunny at the time. So I really wanted to make sure the bunny got here. So he drove the bunny and the rest of our belongings down to Texas from Iowa. Me and my son hopped on the plane. And me and my son moved in with family. So initially for the first month, literally right before we moved, the whole plan, they had a 4-bedroom at the time, which was more than enough room for me and my son. But right before we came, like less than 30 days before we came, the owner of their property or complex or whatever sold it to someone else and turned everybody's units into Airbnbs. So they had 30 days to be out. And that like threw everything off, but I was like, you know what? I'm still coming. Like I didn't care. Like anything could have happened and I was going to find a way. So expect for things to not really go as planned. Yeah.
And on the topic of support, it was amazing that she had support. I, on the other hand, had no support. Everyone in my circle, my family, everyone that I knew told me that this was not a good idea. However, I was going to do it regardless.
Right.
I was going to do it, and so far, it has been a great move.
Yeah.
It really has.
You do it again.
I would do it again.
Yeah.
I would do it again. The only thing I would do differently is I'd pay them bills on time.
Man, and the same. That's it. The only thing I would do differently is just manage my finances better. I spent a lot of money like her on DoorDash, food, on just, things that I, just wasted money. Now that I'm looking back, like I definitely could have managed my money a lot better. Yeah.
So if you're thinking about relocating and you're a single mom, you can do it.
Yeah.
You definitely can do it. I think the biggest thing that you need to be doing is paying those bare minimums on your credit cards, making sure nothing's going to collections. Those places will check and they will ask you, well, why didn't you pay this bill or that bill? And they can see it right away. Yes. Yeah. I think that getting rid of stuff that you don't need every day slowly is a really good idea. Just let go so you can let new things come in.
Yeah. And expect, like I did get a lot of support from my dad, but not really outside of that. My mom and I are really close, but she was really emotional, so that was tough. Just it's going to be hard emotionally, whether I think you have some support or not, so expect that. It's not going to be easy, but after you do it, it'll be well worth it. There's so much to learn from it, so much to experience. You just gotta get there. You just gotta do it.
You can do it.
Yeah, you can do it. Nothing can stop you, only if you let it. So yeah.
We plan to continue making these videos just to help anyone that is going through what we did. We plan on documenting our journey.
Yes, I'm excited. We're
Me
really
too.
just getting started, and I think this will be kind of therapeutic for the both of us. Because, I mean, there's still a lot going on. It's been, even now, months later, and a lot more to come, I'm sure.
Definitely.
But, we're both single moms, and if we can do it, you can do it, It's just
If I can do it.
If I can do it,
anyone can do it.
Take it one day at a time, but know it's possible, and yeah, that's it.
Faith over fear.
Period.
Okay.